So Apple finally updated the AirPods Max. And honestly, the AirPods Max 2 feel less like a grand reveal and more like Apple walking into a room 5 years later like, hey guys, did I miss anything? Meanwhile, the rest of us are sitting there surrounded by competitors who have already dropped multiple generations, improved everything, lower prices, cured boredom, solve world peace. Well, okay, maybe not the last one, but you get the point. In this video, we talk about the AirPods Max 2 and how confusing a second generation this is. Let's get to it. Let's be real. The original AirPods Max launched back in 2020. 2020. Back when we were baking sourdough bread, hoarding toilet paper, and learning what Zoom fatigue meant. And now, after all this time, Apple comes back with a refresh. Not a full redesign, not a revolutionary leap, a refresh. It's like upgrading your flip phone by putting a new case on it and calling it innovation. Don't get me wrong, the updates are nice. USB-C, cool. Welcome to 2024. I mean, 2026. Although the first version was already updated to have USB-C, but anyways, it's Apple. New colors, amazing. Because clearly what was holding people back from spending $549 wasn't the price, it was the lack of a slightly different shade of blue. And the H2 chip, a chip that was first introduced in 2022. Yes, this chip is 4 years old. In chip years, this chip would be eligible for Social Security or whatever retirement system they have in your country. Meanwhile, companies like Sony and Bose have been out there dropping headphones that are lighter, smarter, cheaper, and actually come with a case that doesn't look like a designer bra. Speaking of the price, how are they still this expensive? The AirPods Max are out here costing more than some people's car, rent, payment, and emotional stability combined. At this point, buying these isn't just a tech purchase. It's a financial decision that requires a family meeting and possibly a co-signer. For $549, these headphones should not only cancel noise, they should also cancel my responsibilities, my student loans, and maybe even a few bad decisions from 2012. These headphones cost so much, buying them feels less like shopping and more like applying for a small loan. At this point, the AirPods Max 2 should come with complimentary Apple Care, a thank you letter from Apple, and maybe even Tim Cook personally whispering, "You made the right choice," into your ear every time you put them on. And look, the sound quality is great. And I know this because I own a pair. In case you're wondering, this is the first generation. This is the only reason I still have a lightning cable in my backpack. Anyways, no one is arguing that. The build quality, premium. You could probably use these things as dumbbells in a workout and they still work perfectly. By the way, don't use them for that. If you don't want to gag when you smell these because of the smell they're going to get if you actually exercise with them, I would stay away from using these for exercise. I don't exercise, and the smell that they get just from living in Puerto Rico, from the heat, it's horrible, to say the least. Anyways, but that's also part of the problem. They literally feel like dumbbells. Meanwhile, other brands out there are making their headphones so light, you forget you're actually wearing them. While Apple is like, no, 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 no. you will feel the luxury in your neck. And can we please talk about the smart case? Smart case. Because Apple still hasn't. It's been years, and I'm convinced Apple doesn't even know what this thing is supposed to be. It looks like the headphones are wearing a crop top. Protection? Minimal. Style? Questionable. Functionality? If you say so. Apple had years to rethink it, redesign it, replace it, do literally anything. At this point, I'm convinced these are not a case. It's a social experiment. The biggest issue here isn't that the update is bad. It's that it's late. Really late. Like your friend who shows up to a party after it ended and asks where everyone is late. By the time this update arrived, the competition had already lapped Apple twice and stopped for snacks. This update feels like Apple submitting homework after the semester ended and still expecting full credit. So who are these for? Honestly, if you're deep in the Apple ecosystem, love the design, and have $549 just casually sitting around like it's lunch money, sure, you go for it. You'll probably enjoy them. But if you're looking for pure value, these headphones are the equivalent of ordering a gold-covered burger. It looks fancy. I don't know about the taste, but deep down, you know you overpaid. At the end of the day, the AirPods Max 2 aren't bad. They're just confusing. It's like Apple had all the time in the world to reinvent the wheel and instead said, what if we painted it another color and then charge you extra for the paint? And to be honest, it's a smart move by Apple. At least in US airports, every other person is wearing them. And depending on where you go, people walking down the street also wear them. So to sum up, an underwhelming update to a device that is probably still gonna sell well. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next upload. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and of course, right here on YouTube at JR Abrams Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.